everybody. I want to welcome everybody. Can we not say who's on the screen? You have to move it over there. To the Prevention Coalition and Health Council meeting. Do we want to go around the room and make introductions? I'm Jessica May. I'm the Prevention Coalition Chair, and I represent the Rain Teen Center in Camp Rain.
Or NASAC, what family resource center.
Beth Delaney with the Mouth in Southeast Regional Health Office.
Cindy Smith with the Camp Rep.
Kemia Miller with the Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
Sarah Allen with Health Connect.
I'm Kathleen with Health Connect.
Megan Macklin with DHS for Freedom.
Valerie Governor, I'm also with DHS for Freedom.
Chris Hawkins at Full Next School Health.
Dan Turner, Temporal, Barbara Keenan, Temporal.
William Anderson, County Commissioner representing District Two.
Alan Burnett, Lifeline, Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
I'm Dale Hatcher. I'm a member of the First United Church, UTC in Belvedere.
Archie Kessler with the Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
I'm Dustin Ritchie, Regal, Prevention Specialist with Frank County Prevention Coalition.
Kelly Morrow with the Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
Jesse Sheehan, Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
Okay, and is there anybody online that would like to introduce themselves?
Tabitha Curtis, Tennessee Alliance for Drug and Endangered Children.
Sabrina Moore, Outreach Specialist for the Statewide Family Support Network with Tennessee Voices.
Muted.
Sue, you're muted.
Patricia Cox, Community Relations Rep with the Mayor Group for East Tennessee.
No. Okay, so that's Sue Former. Sue, we can't hear you, but we know you're here.
She is with Blessings and Kiwanis.
Blessings and Kiwanis. Okay. So if you don't mind, take just a minute and review the minutes from the last meeting in December. If I could get a motion to approve the minute,
Motion to approve.
I have a second.
A second.
All right, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion to approve the minute. All right, program updates, Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
You guys have our newsletter. It's got all of our different projects that we work on. And I want to highlight a couple of things. First is Level Up. This is something new that we're doing. Keeney is leading that for us. And it's life skills. We're using life skills reimagined, but the focus on it is kids about to hit adulthood. So, 17, 18, graduating. And it was created for youth that are aging out of foster care. So think of youth that don't have that good support system at home. And it's all computer based. We are going to do in-person sessions so that, we can guide and answer questions. But it covers things like, what is credit? What do I do with credit? How do I get an apartment? What kind of things do I need to do to make that step? How do I budget? How do I deal with emotional trauma? So what that looks like in that course is just understanding that everyone goes through some stuff and, and kind of how to self-regulate that. How do you create a positive support system? Because life happens, who are you gonna turn to? So these are the types of things that, you know, they're not necessarily taught, but if you don't know them, then it just leads to struggle. So we're trying to help them launch. So we're taking referrals for that. It is free, it's covered by our grant. And, you know, this doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's currently in high school. You know, this could be 18, 19. You know, they're really struggling. This could be a young couple, you know, who, you know, they're out on their own, but, you know, maybe they need some of these skills. It might be that they don't need all of it. Maybe we need to take a look at, if it's particularly the older, you know, like in their mid-20s, you know, we take a look at what part of the program can we do for them. So it's very flexible. We just rolled it out. So that's, if you've got some referrals for that, make sure you give us a call. And we'll talk about times and how to get them incorporated. The other big thing that we're working on is the resource fair. So we are trying, and we're with Coordinated School Health, we're partnering together. We are trying to get all of the resources in the community. So think everybody here, by the way, you can get a table at the resource fair and let people know that, hey, if I have mental health, if I've got, like, what does the health department do? You know, where do I go to get help? What's available for me in Franklin County? So, you know, even statewide, like Tennessee Voices, this would be great to set a table up at. I know SoCat's gonna be there. So, you know, it's open to everyone. We're not charging for it. We do ask that you bring a door prize. If you're not able to, because your organization just does not allow it, just talk to me. You know, we'll work through that, and not a huge deal. And that is on January 26th from 2 to 6. So door prizes can be $15, $25. If you can do something bigger, hey, great. But, you know, like, my grant funds don't really allow for me to do things like that. But you know what, if you've got little giveaways that you already do, maybe you can put it together and make a basket. You know, it doesn't have to be huge, but it is a draw, and we want to draw people in, because, you know, trying to get attendance, you know, it's hard. So it's one of those things that we're advertising. Yeah, big updates. Okay. And everything else, yeah, is in the newsletter. We have plenty of these printed out. If you are able to hang one up, if you can stop somewhere and hang one up, if you want to get the word out. We have it on social media. We're going to send it home with schools, but you know, just getting that posted places. If you don't want to do in a couple, help us out with that. That'd be great.
All right. So council,
Okay, I'll be doing that for Sophia. Sophia's not here this month because Grundy and Franklin are both on the same month in January and February due to the holidays. First thing I'd like to announce about Sophia is that she got a promotion. So she's gonna be, yeah, she deserves that. She's gonna be Assistant Health Promotion Director. In doing so, she will give up Grundy County and keep Franklin County because of her other job duties. So she'll just be working in Franklin. So she's all yours now. Except for when I need her, of course.
We'll share.
Yeah. Okay, so for our updates, the Zumba program has begun. They have 41 participants doing the weight loss challenge. Anyone can join. Classes are Monday at 5:30 and Thursdays at 6. There's a bonus. What is the HIIT class?
it's high intensity interval training.
Okay,
So they do an exercise, like a pretty, maybe it might be weights for a minute, or I don't know how many minutes it is, and then you get like 30 seconds of rest, and then you go on to something else. So it's interval training.
which one has the pound in it?
Zumba.
Zumba. Okay, that looks like fun. It looks like a fun class.
It's fun, ain't it, Archie?
It is fun. What we did with those things, that was fun to me.
We're trying to get the Prevention Coalition to come one night, but Melanie is the holdup.
Positive peer pressure. It's not working, y'all.
The class is $2, school-age children are free. January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and is a prevention coalition and a health council. Human trafficking and drug use go hand in hand. The hotline is 1-888-373-7888. You can also text "Be Free" to 233-733. And there's a live chat. All of you have this in your packets, so you can get that. And there's 24/7, and it's confidential. At the Franklin County Health Department, there's Farsi, there's a monthly text, see the flyer for dates, times, and locations. We're gonna have a Healthy Horizons event, May 18th, at the old Franklin County High School football field. It's from 9 to 2 Central. We're gonna expect about 219 kids. So at Healthy Horizons, we do things like proper portion sizes, how much sugar is in your food, different types of exercise. We could use volunteers from the community, and we would love to have you. So contact Sophia if you would like to be part of that. And then the resource fair, which has already been discussed. And then Give a Kid a Chance is July 14th. So starting to raise the school supplies.
Who's gonna be at the health department again?
I'm not sure. There's a good chance that it will be.
All righty. Does anybody have any questions about those updates? Right. ESSER safe return to in-person instruction. This,
Those are our ESSER funds, probably ESSER 2 and 3. Just for those to be spent, there's certain guidelines and putting out in public the safe return instruction. You can go to our website, the county website, and just check out ESSER safe return. It's got to be publicized for us to spend the money. It's one of their guidelines. So if you're ever real bored, you go on the website. Check it out. Check it out.
It's on the screen, so you can see
There you go.
how exciting it is.
You could actually read it right here today. Anyway, and it involves the COVID guidelines for schools and the health departments. Who I want to get those guidelines and write that up. So it's super interesting. If you look that up. Because I know you can't read it from here. That's all right. It hasn't been displayed.
If anyone wants it, I can go print it.
We're legal now.
You don't want to read it, do it?
I would, but I got some food to eat. I didn't want to. My biggest thing I was wanting to see, they said, is anybody with me on that?
yeah.
Yeah. Would anybody come if we got this, what the baby that?
Fundraiser. Not to see Eric from Salem.
See, everything.
Do it for the children.
Do it for kids, Eric. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man, it's all
Man,
He's leaving all the kids behind.
he's leaving off.
No kid gets a chance.
I was thinking, so, but you won't be able to see my picture.
You better not swoop by.
Oh, goodness. Archie's all in. Want to go. I said Archie's all in to want to go.
You should come up here and say that with our kids, everyone.
Yeah, I would love that.
They would too.
Have nothing else to do even.
Well, we could schedule him for a staffing day.
You can do that. You can do that.
You want to do it, you may
If
want
y'all
to-
act better than the kids acted, I'll appreciate it.
I'm just gonna make the sticks on the wall.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say they were in a bad mood that day. Oh, horrible.
It was the first day back from break too,
Yeah.
so. That'd be right.
All right, DSAS survey, is that?
DSAS, Department of Substance Abuse Services. So, that's where the majority of the coalition funding comes from. And they are kind of my head of all things coalition. And every couple of years, they have the survey that comes out. And what they're looking at is it basically judges our growth and capacity and how connected people feel to our coalition. And we need members to complete that survey. So if everyone has a cell phone, if you don't mind getting that out and taking a few minutes to fill out the survey for me, you just go to our website, scpctn.org. And then there is a link to the DSO survey. It'll take about 5 minutes to complete, but I would appreciate everyone doing.
Right here. Click and.
Is that what we did the other day?
Only 4 people done it. I'm one of them.
Me too.
Is that the one we did the other day?
I did not with that.
scpctn.org.
What?
He wants to know.
I forgot the T.
Oh, he was.
FCCTN.org.
There you go.
Move that out of the way because I'm going.
Miss Jessie, can I add while we're waiting, that if anybody would like to help or know somebody that would like to help, we, could use a couple volunteers for our kids zone for the, resource fair.
What we'd really like to do is get an organization that would partner with us and just kind of take that spot, and that's where your table would be, and just have some activities for the kiddos to do and help the parents out by kind of watching them for a few minutes.
What is this for? The survey for? Which option? I mean, I'm just asking.
It's for the state's asking all coalitions to fill this out.
Mm.
And then, we just know what we need to focus on and give me some tips on how to grow the coalition. It's just a good way to evaluate how we do things.
Put strong.
They might throw a trick question in there, you never know.
That's true.
See if you're reading. One of those people ones on line where you just keep going and going and going. I'm exhausted.
I'll give everyone just a few more minutes. Hold on, I got it. Just got it.
I don't pay much attention to my watch other than fitness and so. Yeah, I can, but I don't pay attention to it. You knew that. I'm trying not to, well, saying, we just started doing it. a couple months ago. And last year, you know, I think I've heard this already, I was like, oh, you know, you gotta look at it. I said, no, I didn't know that. So see what we can do. But I'm gonna do it. Please, I'm gonna try.
No, thanks. Working back.
All right, so if everyone's completed that survey, we have a couple of minutes, so I would really like to just have a discussion on prevention. And what are some things that we are seeing in our community and some things you would like to see us working on.
Not everybody at once.
You know, like some concern areas. For instance, last month we talked about the vaping in the middle schools and the use of THC, and you know, like that's a major concern. So that is a focus point for us. But there are other things happening in our community, and I'm just interested to see what you're seeing, and get some feedback and some things that maybe you're not seeing that you would like to see us do.
One of the things I've been hearing about, and you all can be the experts on it, but I've been hearing a lot about fentanyl lacing like marijuana. Kids are smoking marijuana and then they're getting exposed to the fentanyl unintentionally, I guess you could say. I didn't know if you all were having issues with that and seeing.
So the last report I got at the state level, because we've been hearing that locally. And at the state level, they're telling me that they're not seeing that in the labs, because every time law enforcement has to send it off to the TBI, that marijuana is not being laced with fentanyl is what they're saying at the state level. We are concerned at the local level because we have so many people saying it. but we have no proof of that. So what we are doing is instead of focusing just on fentanyl and marijuana, we're focusing on marijuana and we're focusing on fentanyl. Some of the things that we've been doing is the education piece, like in June, we did the Fed Up event. Well, maybe we need to schedule a follow-up this spring, to talk about fentanyl. We do have, as part of the Narcan training, they're talking about fentanyl, and, you know, like fentanyl test strips for, you know, very specific situations. I think that could bring that awareness, but we can continue to educate on that. I think that's a really, really important thing.
We are going into the school, to one of the middle schools next week to do a vaping presentation. We were including marijuana in that.
And talking about, you know, that Delta 8 and the Delta 10, that's not supposed to be marijuana, but it's testing the same, and it is very concerning, and our young people aren't understanding that. So we will do a lot of education on that.
When you go into the school, so what is the, like, the general presentation that you give to them?
For-
vaping?
We talk about, nicotine, and tobacco, and we talk about how that, you know, how addiction works, how it affects the brain, how it, changes the brain patterns and interferes with our learning process. We talk about how nicotine, affects every body system, and, part of it is to quit. Then we talk about, who's pushing that. You know, that it is big tobacco companies that are still behind the vaping companies, and that.
Where have you been?
Being a puppet to the, you know, to the string pullers. And now we're going to incorporate the education about marijuana because they feel that, again, it's not harmful, that it's not addictive, and that it's okay. So we're gonna push that education piece as well.
There is a question online that says, is there anything that can be done about the increased signage at the vape stores? I know Winchester has a display signage policy.
We see more of the signs in Deckard, and that was on my to-do list and it fell off. So thank you for that. Yes, we want to talk to the codes department, and if I have a coalition member that wants to partner with me on that, because again, it's been on my list, it's just a matter of getting there. But talking to the codes department and finding out what the code is and seeing if there's something that can be done. Having that constant in your face is changing the environment of our county, and it's changing the perception. So first step is post.
What are you saying, that the signage is larger than the code allow?
There's a code about, and I'm not an expert here, but about temporary signage. And so those flags aren't permanent signs. And so, but they're up permanently. So there might be a thing to do in there where they, where codes can help enforce, and we don't have so much of that. You know, it's really embarrassing to be driving down the road and my 8-year-old who's learning how to read says, "What's kratom?" You know, and trying to have, I mean, I want to educate him, but he's 8. You know, I don't take them into stores that have that, but we're subject to that going down the road. So there might be something to be done.
I don't think you can start talking to him yet.
No, you can't. You can't. I don't like that it's in his face. And then, because the more you see something, the more acceptable it is. Oh, yeah, I've seen that for years. That must be safe. We don't want that perception. So, I agree. We have way too many signs out. But no, absolutely. I mean, I talk my kiddos all the time. Don't, and whatever you do, don't be around him and vapor smoke, because he will go up to a total stranger. Do you know that's bad for you? And I'm like, Mom, they're doing drugs right here. Yes. You'd have to know him, but yeah, he does that.
Hey, does anybody have any other announcements that were not on the agenda that they would like to mention?
Just so everybody knows, 4-H is going into middle schools with Health Rocks, which is all about vaping and drug abuse, you know, all that stuff. So it's a national 4-H program, and we got grant funding for that. So that's in our middle schools this month, next month, and I think March.
All for middle school?
Yeah. We hit every 4th grader through 8th grader, private and public.
Anybody else? Guys are quiet today. Do you have anything else?
Next month is, Tuesday again, and then we'll be back to our normal Mondays. Flyers. There's flyers,
Posted up here. We already announced them, but of course, rankings and Wednesday nights. Mental health lunch and learn. Tuesday in February 12/1 via Zoom. And then there's a girls leadership summit, February the 11th. Who is that put on by?
The Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth.
Okay. February 11th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tennessee Voices, Family Driven Individual Education Plan Training. That is January the 26th. Is that a Zoom? I assume it is, it says register here. And then, of course, the Community Resource Fair.
Talked about those now.
All right, well, if nobody has anything else,
does anybody online have anything they want to share?
no one? Are they muted? All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, well, we'll see you guys in February on the 21st.
If you would like to sign up for the resource fair, you can come see me and I'll get you signed up.